What's going on, people, man? We're back here with another video, man, and today we're going to talk about Devil May Cry 5. I was speculating on whether or not I'm going to do this video, but I just have to do it simply because E3 is like right around the corner. We might get some news about the new Devil May Cry game, but just to let you guys know, Devil May Cry 5 or any new Devil May Cry game has not been confirmed. This is like speculation, basically my opinions on what they can do to make it better, and etc. So let's talk about Devil May Cry 5. Maybe a longer video, but in the background we got some Devil May Cry HD collection from Devil May Cry 3. PlayStation 4. But let's talk about it. So the first things first, if you do not know what Devil May Cry is a hack and slash action game. The first one came in what, 2003, 2002, and then overall it actually got better. It's like what, 5 games in the franchise, I believe. But let's talk about it. So first things first, there are Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry 2, 3, 4, and DMC Devil May Cry, but I will not be talking about DMC Devil May Cry because that is a reboot. But if you guys want me to talk about it in a future video, let me know in the comment section down below. But first, let's talk about the order that the game is basically made. Devil May Cry 3 is a prequel, so that's basically the first game, like first ever, like the story. Then it's Devil May Cry 1, then Devil May Cry 4, then Devil May Cry 2, which probably is one of the worst Devil May Cry games. I see why I got bad reviews and etc. But considering at the time Capcom didn't know what the fuck they were doing, I don't know, but considering how they kind of fucked that story up. But hey, anyway, let's talk about Devil May Cry 5. What can the setting be for Devil May Cry 5? Even though after Devil May Cry 4, we all speculated that Nero is Virgil's son, but there's a chance that he could be Dante's, because we don't know what happened between Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 1, and then Devil May Cry 4, because we do know that Virgil died at the end of Devil May Cry 3 facing Moonus. If you guys can beat the game and you get 100 kills at the end of the credits, you get a special scene, and basically that's it. He fights Moonus, and in Devil May Cry 1, he's basically Moonus' bitch, because people saying he's dead, he uses his body, and this, yeah, he's Neo Angelo. But if they want to do Devil May Cry 5, if they do plan on doing the story, they have to bring Nero, Lucia, and Dante, and obviously Trish and Lady, simply because they came from Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 1. That's what the plan should be. I think everyone wants that game, simply because that's what everybody wants. Now, moving forward, if they're going to do this story, it has to be either the villain has to be Moonus' son, or possibly Sparta being reborn and he's turned evil, etc. That's how it really should be. That's how I look at it, because there's nobody else, in my opinion, that I can actually see. But the game should be open world, like God of War. I feel like they have to make this, because the last game we actually got was Devil May Cry 4 that was actually in this series. Now, if you want to talk more about how the characters should be, knowing Capcom, they don't put a lot of effort into other characters besides it being the main one. For example, in Devil May Cry 3 and 4, and even Devil May Cry 2, Lucia had 12 chapters or 8 chapters in the story if you play her campaign, and they all were different. There were cutscenes, there were different bosses, even though they may be the same bosses, but you would get different reactions from that particular character. And also, I beat the game on hard. In Devil May Cry 2, you play as Trish, and I don't know how to play that shit. But moving to Devil May Cry 3, you play as Virgil, and the only cutscene you really get in the game is really at the beginning when he meets Arkham. But now we move to Devil May Cry 4, you play as Dante and Nero, but those two are usually split between the first 12, and Dante gets like the last 6, I believe. But moving on to 4, if you play the special edition, you play as Trish, Lady, and also Virgil. I think the only cutscene you get is at the end, but you replay these same bosses over and over again. So that's really kind of the thing that really bothers everybody. But moving forward, they should do that. Lucia is after Devil May Cry 4, so she has to play a part. Even though what happened at the end of Devil May Cry 2, she has to be in this game. You have to give her a part in this game, because she's, in my opinion, she's probably one of my favorite characters in this series, because you get to play as her, another demon hunter besides Dante and Virgil. Now moving forward, they have to have, like, sort of like what God of War, maybe Ninja Gaiden had with the co-op and the multiplayer. You have to have that, or maybe even create a devil mode where you create as a player and you basically go out demon hunting, sort of like Monster Hunter World. That would be a nice little idea to have for this game. But with Devil May Cry 5, is Virgil going to be alive? That's the thing about that. Can they do that as a story plot? Can they bring him back? Because he's been dead since Devil May Cry 3, and then this Devil May Cry 1, and then obviously Devil May Cry 4. Even though Nero has Devil Trigger that looks just like Virgil, and he reconstructed the Yamato. That's the thing that everyone's forgetting. Even though it's like a slim possibility that it could be Dante's son, like, man, I say 5% it could be Dante's son. I mean, because at the time, Virgil was worried about trying to activate the Timothy Gru in Devil May Cry 1, But we don't know who Dante was fucking. I'm pretty sure Dante doesn't use any type of condoms at all. Might have nutted in the bitch, and you never know. But we don't know because we didn't get that much point of view from Devil May Cry. I wish Devil May Cry 3 would have explained a lot of things, even though it might have been like some Easter eggs or whatever. But they really don't explain too much about who Virgil might have had sex with to basically bring Nero. So, I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I really wish they do bring Devil May Cry 5 back. It'd be nice to see because that whole emo DMC and excuse me, I would like to see it just because of that. And that's really it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope I covered some points. If not, let me know what I could have said. But even though Trish, Dante, Nero, they can make this like a 40 mission game just because of that. No more 20 missions. And yeah, that's really it.